How will Bitcoin go next? What guidance can the data give us? If you are interested in this issue, please follow me. Let's take a look at the disk of Bitcoin. First, let's observe some data. Let's start with DXY. First, if we observe the daily chart of DXY, we can find that it is currently climbing slowly and preparing to test our resistance on the white line above. Or in other words, if we swap, we can find that it has played a very clear role in the previous position. Swapped roles include these two places have acted as resistance, and then there is support here. Then we go to the back. Basically, after breaking through, all of them are resistance roles for many times in a row. And now we are preparing to test white again. The level of the line is good, so what can DXY represent? In fact, the trend of DXY is inversely correlated with Bitcoin. And its correlation is actually very, very high. What does this reverse correlation mean? We can take a look. In fact, the point at which DXY started to fall, or the point in time, was September 28th. September 28th, when we started to fall. Of course, DXY is also related to the complete reverse relationship with the US stock market. The degree is very strong. And until we hit the most recent low point, it was about 928 to 714 on July 14th. We can all remember this number for a while. Of course, we can also compare it with pictures. But I think this is the time point. It is the most intuitive. Where is 928? From this place, it's probably 928. After 928. Of course, DXY will not be affected by the FTX incident. But you can see that we are probably from this nearby position. We started a round of big skyrocketing. The place where we reached the top is not here, but the place from the back to the top. It's July 13th. Don't you think it's very accurate? Bitcoin, it was July 13th that created the highest point since our rise. Our DXY just happened to hit the lowest point since our decline on July 14th. It proves that when DXY is going down, Bitcoin will go up in this way. Of course. We are now DXY. After it starts to go up, it starts to rise. And of course our Bitcoin starts to fall. If we say that we will go up in a few days, we saw that DXY directly wore our white level. Then I would think that it is actually equivalent to our previous exchange at 25,000. And he would also be successfully broken down. If we say DXY in the next time, after he crosses the level of our white line of around 105, then the support of our white line of 25,000, I think there is a very, very high probability that he will fall below the trend. Basically, yes. In fact, we can look at it from the midline. We can also observe the past cycles of Bitcoin. Because if we want to reach the round of 2013, the time is actually a bit too long. After all, there is a big gap between our current market environment and that time. Let's take a look at the highest point we created here at that time. Then we later, after falling back, we left Mavericks. We still marked these 2 points. If we replay to our last time, he also had a rushing climax. And then we came to the lowest point of a bear market. After we finished the Mavericks, we followed up with a wide range of shocks. I think it is a wide range of shocks. It can't be regarded as this kind of bear market because the bear market will keep falling. You can see it like this. Then that's why I think it's a very typical bear market. Just like the section we've been in before. It's a typical bear market. After we've gone through the Mavericks, we're going through this kind of oscillating box consolidation and then going up. Of course, here it is. Is it because of an incident? In fact, at that time, the new crown epidemic did not include the impact on Bitcoin. Basically, all financial targets were severely impacted. If we ignore this incident, you can find that we are actually going. Well, he is oscillating. From the perspective of the perimeter, he is oscillating. If we draw this oscillating area now, where will he be? Maybe it is in the place where I drew the white line. At this time, there is another very important thing. The factors we have to consider are that you can look at our previous waves of upswings, including this upswing and this upswing. In fact, there are signals on the market. but the news comes and goes to trigger the catalyst of the news. We can observe this from the table of Bloomberg. It's not that I did this, but we directly looked at what Bloomberg did. He compiled the one-day spot approval time of the Bitcoin spot that he applied for from several institutions, or the time it takes to make a ruling. He organized them into a table. I found out that the benefits we released before did cause a substantial rise in Bitcoin. But it didn't really pass, it was just a piece of news. What might happen to it? And if the Bitcoin spot passes one day? I think it will also be a very important index for the next round of bull market, because it will bring a lot of funds from the traditional financial market. If we look at the review time, of course we have already passed July and August. What I came down to observe is September 2nd, right? Our September 2nd and our October 17th. September 2nd is actually the most recent thing. Then October 17th, around mid-October, mid-January, and then March. In the middle of the month, we actually halved it in April. Now it is estimated that it will be in the middle of April or the end of April. But according to our current block, the speed of its generation is likely to be in early April or even the fastest. The soonest will be the halving at the end of March. If we match these deadlines, including our first, second, third, and fourth deadlines, it is very likely that we will be due to the current ETF before the halving. If it is bullish, we will start the next round of bull market and then match the traditional halving. So I think that when we look at Bitcoin from the midline, its most likely position to fluctuate is from 30,000 to around 220,000 to 21,000. Unless there are some very important and significant events like our previous 312. This is our long-term observation of the current market. Of course, this is combined with the data. I can also observe a data. This is also mentioned by many friends. Bitcoin has been around for 14 years in the past 10 years since its birth. If we count from 2009, it will be about 14 years. If there is a secondary market that can participate, it will be about 10 years. It was created in September. You can see the decline in our month, we don't count it, because we just started this month. The decline is not accurate. But our 2022, 2021, 2020, then 1918, 17. Wow, all of them are declines. But I think this kind of statistics, it's not really support from the technical level. It's just statistically so. I think it's not weak if it's used as a basis for our fall in September. However, we can still judge from the technical level. For example, let's say we look at it from a 4-hour point of view, directly from the operational level. In fact, in the past, we had this kind of decline and then consolidated and then went up again. But we were beaten back immediately when we couldn't go up. Which means that we have supply at the top. Yes, the supply is very sufficient. Even if there is a follow-up like this, he will not be able to follow up or even be called back immediately. Which means that our locked-in order at the top is to buy above 29,000. No matter it is a spot contract. These people, when the price has not touched their cost, they are eager to get out of the market. And they are eager to get out of the trap, which causes the